Hi everybody, it's Kayla, and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. Today, my friends, we are building what I'm calling a fixer-upper apartment. Not because I renovated an apartment, but because I built an apartment that needs renovation, okay? This is that needs TLC apartment in San Myshuno. This is the one that Salim lives in, if you know City Living very well. This is where he lives, and I bulldozed his apartment, and I redid it. I've done this once before, this exact same apartment with a kind of similar style, and I think that apartment, I did it like a year and a half ago, is one of my favorite builds of all time on my channel. I think it's really pretty in there. So I'll link that video down below if you want to check it out, my friends. But yeah, that's linked. Give her a shot. I'm pretty proud of that one. And I kind of tried to let this be very heavily inspired by that build because I liked it so much. And so here we are, doing it again. But yeah, I built this one yesterday, and I like these kind of builds, especially the smaller ones right now, because I just did a mansion pretty recently, and it took me so long to furnish, and building this one was like a dream, you know? It has more character, it took me like 45 minutes instead of 7 hours, like it was a time that I very much enjoyed. I listened to some of my friends' streams while I did this, and it was fun. And also, I like the color scheme in here. It's very like I don't know. It's very reddish, reddish, brownish, maybe. There's exposed brick, and there's a lot of parts where, like, because I figure it's kind of, it needs some help, like some fixing in it, obviously. And so there are places where there's like a painting on the wall, but I put like holes in the wall behind the painting, kind of like they hung the painting up to cover the holes in the wall. I thought that was kind of cute because there's like these holes, and they're like trying to hide them with the paintings. And anyway, I thought it was nice. So there's that. But I had fun building this one. And again, I'll link the other one down below. I think my first renovation of this apartment, I say renovation, but like my first redo of this apartment is a little bit better than this one. But I mean, I don't remember what it looks like, to be honest. I kind of forgot. I just have this like image in my head of this beautiful thing that I built a year and a half ago. I played in that in my Dylan Diaries Let's Play for a little bit. If you caught that one and you knew that like the first ever apartment from that series, that's what I'm talking about. And I really loved that apartment when I built it. So I don't know. This is inspired by, okay? But you guys, I have a story for you, kind of in honor of my going back to the UK for summer in the city. Hey, are you going to summer in the city? Well, I see you there. Let me know. That'd be super cool. I'm actually, the day you're seeing this, I'm getting on a plane. So I'll see you guys there if you're going. I'm a little bit nervous about it. I'm not going to lie to you, but I'm excited because I've never been to a convention like this one in this sort of sense. Because I've been to like VidCon before, but never as like a creator. I've gone as a creator, like I go as me, but I don't have like a creator badge. Like I'm not like a featured creator there or anything. And so this is like a first for me, and I'm kind of excited about it, but also really nervous because I'm gonna be on a panel, and I don't really handle speaking to humans well, which is the moral of this story I'm gonna tell you, because my friends, okay, I need some context for this, because if you're from America, like I am, you probably won't understand some of these things, so I need to like explain them, right? So in the UK, they mostly use contactless payment. So basically their cards, you just like tap them on the credit card reader and then it's like paid for. Whereas we still live in the dark ages and have a chip in our cards. So it's like put the chip in and then it reads the chip and then it's done. Like they have these contactless payments. And so everywhere you go, they've got this contactless payment, and like it's really easy, really fast to pay, but I don't have a card like that. And so when I go there, it's always like this process, because when you buy something, they kind of expect you just to have the contactless card, and then you don't, and you're like, I got a chip, and it takes like more time, and then you have to print out a receipt and sign it. I think it's international card, but I'm not actually sure. But none of them sign receipts ever, and then there's me who like has this card that takes longer, and then sign the receipt, and it takes so much longer than anybody else, and so your friends are all like paying for things, and you're the last one, and it's so awkward, and like the person working there never expects you to have a card that requires this much like time to be spent in it, and it's like a whole thing. So it's always very uncomfortable because like the person working never expects the receipt to come out, and so when it prints out a receipt and makes you sign it, they're always like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And so my story revolves around this one time that I was trying to buy a smoothie, okay? Now the smoothie cost, I forget, it was like probably like $5. I don't know how much it cost, but like around, it's a smoothie, okay? It's not like it's expensive, you know? But I had my card and I paid for it, and like first of all, the person working there, she did not expect it to be like a chip card, and so it was kind of awkward me being like, oh no, it's a chip, and they had to like hand it to her and stuff. And then I pay for it, I get my smoothie, I like go to leave, and she's like, oh wait a minute, it wants me to sign a receipt. And so she like calls me back. I have to go back there. It's already super awkward because of the receipt situation. And then I go and I'm trying to like minimize the amount of time I have to spend there because it was so uncomfortable that I like kind of just scribbled my name. I kind of did like a KS, like I did a K scribble, S scribble instead of like signing it like I usually would. And so I just to like get it over with, I was like, oh, here you go, take it back, ah. And then she's like, wait a minute, can I see your card to like check the signature? And I was like, oh, okay. And so I handed the card back and she's like, oh, these don't match. And so it was, oh my God. And then I was like, oh no. And so I was like, do you want me to re-sign it or what? And so she hands me back my receipt and I had to go and like change my scribble into my name. Like I changed my scribble next to the K into like an Ayla. And then I like hand it back to her. And it was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever been involved in my entire life. Like it just, the whole situation, because none of us wanted that to happen. You know, like she didn't want to have to do that. I didn't want to do that. Nobody wanted anything to do with that situation. And it was so unnecessary seemingly too, because here, when I sign for things, maybe this is wrong, but like I don't know, maybe you guys do this too, but like when I sign for things, like if I'm going to Publix to buy groceries and I have to sign for it on the keypad, like on the little box thingy, like the card reader, I kind of just scribble my name there too. It never really matters. And so like if it's like an expensive purchase, it matters, I imagine. But like for a smoothie, like it's not like a huge deal. Right? And so I kind of just like scribbled and I thought it would be fine, and then it wasn't fine, and these things backfired. So I could be wrong about many of these things, and maybe you're all like, yeah, idiot, you should have signed your name for real. But like, picture the situation, right? Like, I was called back by this woman after like almost leaving to sign for this. Oh my God. And whenever, like, if you all go out to dinner there, so here, like, when you split the bill, at least in the States where I'm from, whenever you split the bill, they'll come back and they'll give you, like, multiple checks, right? There, if you're splitting the bill, they'll come around with a card reader. So they'll come with, like, a mini card reader and, like, come around the table, and then you each, like, they'll give you the receipt for the whole table. And then you each kind of, like, add up how much, like, each person goes around, they're like, okay, so I bought, like, the pasta and a drink. And so you add up your own personal payment towards this, and then they give you the card, and to the guy, you're like, all right, I spent $16. And then he puts in 16 and then charges you. And then they go around the table and do that. And that's how you pay for the meals whenever you, like, in my experience with a group meal when I'm in England. And it's always so awkward for me because they all have these cards that work so easily. And then there's me who's like, oh, here's my chip card. And then it prints out a receipt and I have to sign for it. And everyone's like, what's going on? And it's just, anyway. But it's like not a big deal. But for me, who's so like ridiculous and like anxious about these things, it's like this enormous deal. I'm like, oh, the receipt's printing out. Oh my God, I'm a problem now. It's just like, it's not a big deal, but I make it out to be one in my head. But yeah, it's so weird when you pay for group meals like that. I never expect that. Because here, if you're like splitting the check, like, I don't know, like whenever I go out for a group meal here, someone will like pick up the whole thing and then you all like PayPal them back, or like they'll give you more than one check or something, but they just come back with one receipt, and then you all like individually add up how much you spent and then just tell the guy like, yeah, put down $16.39 on the thing, and then you hand him your card and then it charges you. It's a very, very weird thing. I don't like it. But yeah, I'm used to it now. It's fine. So lesson learned. Actually, what lesson are we learning? Lesson learned: sign things for real always, even when you feel very awkward and uncomfortable. Just sign it for real. Don't scribble. Okay, I know you want to scribble. Don't do it. Just, but yeah. Anyway, that's my story, my friends. But I think on that note, I'm gonna get mocked for this. Is this like a relatable problem? Has anyone else noticed these things or dealt with these things? I don't know. These are probably very dumb. To anyone who lives in England, who they're like, yeah, you pay for the check that way, duh. And anyone here is like, yeah, you should have signed it for real, Kayla. I'm sorry. Look, I made a mistake. I'm owning up to it. It's fine. But on that note, I'm going to go ahead and cut off right here, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe and do all those fun YouTube things. And in case you guys didn't know, I post new videos every single day. And so I will see you all tomorrow. Bye, everybody. I'm laughing, but am I? I'm actually crying. I'm distraught over this. I don't think I'll ever get over it. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really struggling here. Okay, you guys.